My name is Rick Dobran. I'm a tattoo artist at Eastman Inc. in Vancouver on Commercial Drive. I started tattooing about 8-9 years ago. Been drawing my whole life. Artwork has always been part of everything that I've ever done. And about 8 years ago, 10 years ago, was the first time I got tattooed. And started getting more tattoos and was designing all of my own tattoos, and then decided, started talking to the person that I was getting tattooed by, asked if they would take me on as an apprentice, and so I started to learn then. The challenges are endless. It seems. Number one, you've got to be able to do the design. You've got to be able to figure out where it goes on the body. You've got to be able to understand what the people are asking for. We do some flash. We also do custom. You used to walk in and you go, I want that drawing that's on the wall, and they would do that. That's called flash. Now we do custom work. People aren't always exactly sure how to express themselves in a visual medium. So they come in, they've got an idea, but to be able to describe what that would look like or what that's supposed to be or what they see in their heads as to what the tattoo is, that needs a lot of work from tattoo artists communicating with the people that are coming in. People's first tattoos almost always have to have some kind of meaning because people are decorating themselves permanently. And it's the line is it's a mile to the first tattoo and then an inch to the second one. First tattoos almost always have some sort of meaning, so that because people aren't sure if they like tattoos. Just being decoration itself is meaning enough. I don't know if I'd recommend any job to anybody. If you've looked and you've tried and you've made a commitment to something else and it's just you're miserable and you're unhappy and the only thing that you can feel in your heart is that you need to do this art, then I recommend it because it can be very satisfying. One of my favorite stories was a tattoo that I did. It wasn't mine. Originally, a man came in. He was Italian, 84 years old, and he'd gotten a tattoo done in Coventry, England. It was a tattoo. It was for his wife. There's a Celtic two hands shaking that is a symbol of marriage, and it was her name. And she had, when he came here, she had just passed on a few months before, and his tattoo was, about 50 years old, over that, 57 years old, and he wanted it to get refreshed. Took it, drew on it, got fresh lines on it, got fresh color on it, and made it brand new again. And he said, "Oh, good for another 50 years," was his response. And that's one of my favorite tattoo stories. As well as being a tattoo artist, I am also a co-owner of this shop. And so one of the things I would change is that I wouldn't have to do quite so much other than tattooing. That sometimes gets a little difficult. You have to understand that it's a business as well as a hobby. Advice I'd give to somebody who's starting out as a tattoo artist is to pursue it relentlessly. There's no relaxing. It's art. And not only that, but it's art that you're putting on somebody permanently. Don't be a scratcher. Don't be working out of your kitchen. You are carving people up forever. That's a privilege. That's not a right. That's not a lark. That's not a joke. When you're starting out, you need to be working with other people. You can't be on your own. You won't get very good at it if you are. You need to be working in a shop. Get the same answers. Why do anybody do any kind of art? And what pleasure do they get out of any of that? Some of it is that you get a little bit of, you get to be good at something. You work at something and you do something well and you get to be good at it, and it's extremely satisfying. When you do a good job and they treasure it, that is something that's worthwhile, and that makes you feel like you've done something really, really really special. When you're applying to be an apprentice, you have to bring forward your current artwork. You gotta get your artwork up to a certain level where a tattoo artist will look at it and go, "Oh, you know what you're doing. You're a good artist. You can do this sort of thing. I'm interested in having you come here and become a tattoo artist, become my apprentice, so that I pass on my knowledge to you to further the tradition, further my traditions of artwork." You have to do that. You have to be willing to work, and you have to be willing to work any time. Whether it's art school or whether it's self-taught, you got to draw, you got to put it to paper, you got to commit to what you're doing. And that's what people are looking for when people are coming around asking for apprenticeships.